Hello everyone, my name is Dexter. Today we're going to be talking about the Gear S3. It has too many issues, it comes up short, blah blah blah. Love me, love me, love me, love me. I purchased it at Best Buy for $350. I had a 10%, which came out to around $340 after tax because I'm in New York and, well, you know how fucking taxes do. So let me first start off with how amazing this watch looks, how seamless it is to go through things and go through apps and the things that are really basic for phone calls, for messaging. All that stuff is just simply amazing. It does exactly what you want it to do. Using the bezel here is just so simple and easy that it's just, you don't even have to touch the screen. Your fingers don't ever have to touch it. It does a really, really good job, um, you know, of what it, I guess, is made to do. The amount of faces or watch faces for this is, it almost feels unlimited. There's so many you can buy, but there are a few things that are upsetting to me. For instance, why is the lack of Google support a bitch here? Why can't it be easy to use with Google apps? For instance, right off the bat, the if you typically use Hangouts like I do. The issue with that is that there is no support. So what ends up happening is that the watch tells you to actually open up your phone to reply. Why? It should be treated like a text. Google Maps doesn't exist. The lack of apps on their Samsung Galaxy apps are limited. So there are a few things that are just bugging me. Using their mail, I don't use their mail. I use Inbox. Why is there no Inbox? Why? These are the apps you can mess around with. They're pretty limited on what you can do. It is a watch, I get it, but why the lack of Google support? That is my biggest beef. I am so married to the ecosystem. Why would you limit me to do that when your Samsung devices are so heavily into the Android applications? Then why would you want me to use this? Now let's get into S Voice. S Voice, for the most part, kind of understands you. Sometimes it doesn't do what you want it to do. Sometimes it decides it's not going to do anything. So having it do something, typically it's hard. So most of the time I end up not even using S Voice. It just doesn't even understand half the things you're trying to say, which is it's and the only thing I compare it to is how Google has their Google Assistant, I think it's called now, which does such a great job at understanding everything you're going to say, or everything you say. It's pretty clear. I did not find any items called here trying. So yeah, the device itself, as far as hardware, top notch. Battery lasts 2 days. I didn't use it for one day. Let it sit at home for a day while I went to work, and it lasted 3 days. So there are some advantages that I guess other devices don't have right now. And again, the only thing I compare to is maybe my Fitbit, which could last me 4 to 5 days, and my wife's iWatch, which lasts about a day and a half for her on a normal use, and she's even connected to Wi-Fi most of the time. But again, this device is just pretty. It's very, very luxurious. It's just a pretty watch, and that's the reason I decided to keep it. Now, you might see in the back, there's another device here. It's the brand new one. It's a S3 again, but what ended up happening to me was that I purchased this watch at Best Buy, local. I actually went there to the one in, what was it, Union Square in New York City. I went there and purchased this device there, and it was seamless, I think. But when it ended up happening, it was that at that time this device was $350. I only purchased it maybe 4 or 5 days ago. So I called their customer service because at that point Amazon had dropped it to $320, and what ended up happening was that the actual person that helped me would not budge, and they said that I actually got the phone cheaper than that because I applied a 10% discount that Best Buy gave me. So the device came out to $340 after tax, because obviously the tax in New York City are pretty fucking high. So that's the only shitty part about it. So I purchased in Union Square. I used it for a couple of days. I was gonna return it. I was upset that they couldn't match the price for me. And the base price was $320 compared to their $350 base price that they wanted, and they wouldn't budge. So what ended up happening is I went to Macy's, and Macy's has the same device. It is the Bluetooth version of this. Same price at one point, but suddenly it dropped to $299. And then Macy's also had a 15% off that you can use on anything for using their app first. So that's what I pretty much did. I used their app first for the first time, and I purchased it through there and bought it brand new for $377. $277 it came out to. So that's a big difference. I think it's almost like a $70 difference. And so what's going to happen tomorrow is pretty much I'm going to return this one. I had fun with it. What I did have it on me. It sold me on the hardware, so that's the main reason why I'm keeping it. It also is pretty seamless to use. Again, there's some bugs, some things you have to actually go on your phone. If you have an Android, I don't have an iPhone, so I can't compare, but with an Android device, all you have to do for things that bug you, that, for instance, Google Hangouts, you can't reply, right? You can't reply through the device from out of the box. But if you install Google Wear on your Android device, and all you have to do is install it, you don't have to do anything else with it, it will allow you through the watch to reply through Hangouts again. And again, inbox too, you'll be able to do that. So there are some things that you can do to get around that. And for the most part, it works fine. It's a great looking thing. It's a great looking device. It lasts long. It's top notch. There's nothing else compared to it. I really wish it was more Android based, but obviously this is Tizen, and I believe that's Linux based. So I'm going to deal with it. I really like it. I would recommend it to a friend. It is a great device. If you're looking for Android feel, I don't think this is it at all. But it does a great job. The speaker is amazing. Let me see if I can show you some music here. The speaker does really great. Oh, I gotta switch to this. I think it's gonna be a hell of a night. A hell of a night. So we can do whatever you like. Hey, it took me all day to... Very seamless. Hey. Oh yeah. Clear. Very clear. Let me bring it over to the mic so you can hear a little better. Yeah, this is for all the fans that waited, the bitch niggas that hated. Oh. So again, it does a really good job. S Health is amazing. It tells you everything. I mean, I thought I loved my Fitbit for this particular purpose, and once I saw this, I was just blown away. Like look at this. It goes back days, time. It's really sick. I mean, you could definitely do so much with this. Tracks your timing, floors. I don't really walk up my stairs, but I mean, this is pretty sick. Steps. I'm blown away. Really does a great job. Oh, here it is when I first got it. So just got it on the 22nd. So Best Buy has a good return policy, which I'm going to do and definitely take advantage for this. I would have kept it if they just would have lowered the price down like I requested and didn't fight me for it. There's a few things that you can do for responding to texts, which is pretty cool too. The handwriting does such a magnificent job at trying to understand what you say or write. I mean, um, reply, man. Am I not pressing it? Okay. So here's handwriting, which is pretty cool. You know. Hello, world. Can use a underline here to do a space. I hate having to use that. And of course, sometimes it decides to think I said okay gear, and it sends me there. There are some things you're gonna have to get used to, but other than that, it's awesome. Again, the device is top notch, probably the best out there right now as far as hardware, and again, it's a beautiful looking watch. It's huge. My wrist is small. I'm a small guy. I'm only 5'5", but this thing, I mean, it looks legit. It's a beautiful watch, and I'm sure with the other bands, leather bands and so on, you can make it even look sexier. So, well, that is what it is. Enjoy it. If you do decide to keep it, let me know what you think about it. If you got some hacks, some ideas, some tips for others, please put it below.